But before we hear from the athletes, I'd like to introduce event organiser Robert Houston to say a few words for us, please.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you for turning up today. Thanks to the media, thanks to the athletes. I know you had quite a bit of a journey, so it's very much appreciated turning up here. Welcome to the 2014 PruHealth World Triathlon. This is year number 6 of triathlon in Hyde Park, and I think we will establish quite a bit of a nice tradition of this event in Hyde Park. On the other side, this year will be as unpredictable, I think, as it has never been before. For the first time we staged the event, we staged the elite races of the sprint distance. And we're quite excited about that. Since sprint distance just simply has proven kind of in the past time, it's a great spectator experience, it's a great spectacle. Also, both elite races will be staged back to back. This means for spectators come down to Hyde Park on a Saturday afternoon within a 2.5-hour window. You will see 2 world-class races. The men's race starts at 2:30 Saturday afternoon. Women's race finishes at 5 o'clock. So Saturday afternoon between 2:30 and 5 o'clock. You should know where you are. Cheer these athletes on. Great spectacle. If you're down the Swimfun Road, it's completely free to watch. The athletes will pass you up to 16 times on the bike and on the run. Very compact, very spectator-friendly course. Last year we've seen 40,000 people in Hyde Park. And those of you who've been in Hyde Park last year know what the weather was like. This year the weather forecast is good. 20 degrees, I just looked it up, 20 degrees, sunshine, no rain, I was promised. So we definitely hope to beat last year's spectator numbers. Saturday is the big elite day, all about the elite races, power triathlon in the morning. Sunday that is reserved for the mass. We will have 5,000 people taking part on Sunday in various mass participant races. Nearly a third of them are actually novices, but then again, I don't think there's a better place to start triathlon than in Hyde Park at the Olympic venue.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Now I'd like to introduce you to our top table. I'd like to say we've got the Women's Series top 3 here: Jodie Simpson, Gwen Jorgensen and Helen Jenkins, along with Faye McClelland and Richard Murray. Welcome all. Before we start with the rotation, we'd just like to ask each of them a question. Jodie, we'll start with you. You started the race on Saturday with number 1 on the front. How's the foot after Yokohama?
The foot's fine. It's definitely a testing couple of weeks between this weekend and Yokohama, but it's fine, and I'm happy to say I'm ready to race on the weekend.
And Gwen, you've probably got mixed memories of London from 2011 and the podium and then crash last year at the event. Are you looking forward to this year?
Yeah, it'll be fun to go out there and race. You know, every race is different, and I know it'll be hard with the hometown favorites sitting next to me, Helen and Jodie, and it should be fun to race Lisa Norton as well as coming back, so that'll be fun.
And Helen, this is your first return to Hyde Park since 2012. We missed you last year. How much are you looking forward to getting back out there in front of the home crowd?
I'm really looking forward to it. I think one of the best things about London 2012 was the crowd support that we had, and I ran down at the Surfing Sign this morning and all comes flooding back and all these memories of the race. So yeah, I hope we have a lot of people turn out to support the Brits.
And Richard, you got a podium in Yokohama. It's obviously a sprint event this weekend, one of your strengths. What are you hoping for on Saturday?
I think I'm hoping for the groups to come together on the bike. I think a lot of the secondary guys will be watching that. I think you in the crowd might want to as well for some action. But definitely, I'm looking forward to good events, and it's awesome to be back in London. Every time we ride down here, going on the same route as the Olympic course is quite special, and I think it's wonderful to be back here to be racing in London.
And Faye, you are actually undefeated.
So far.
What would it take, to beat you, and do you find it hard to motivate yourself, constantly winning each race?
No, because I think, you never can be too complacent, and I know that competition is rising all the time. There's a lot more girls now that I've got you know, to race against, and you know, I'm sort of like, I guess, the number one target. So, and you know, I know that in myself, I haven't been racing that long as a you know, I took up triathlon quite late in my life, so there's lots to improve, and that's you know, a big motivation factor, just to know that personally I've got so many goals within the sport that I still want to achieve.